afternoon, everybody. Today we are doing something a bit different. I want to do a short stream today because I actually have an IRL engagement later. I want to get a nap in before then. I also want to get a shower and probably a nice meal. So I thought it would be fun because this is semi-related to it. Well, I mean, it is related to it, but I don't know if this is something I'm actually going to use for it. But my friends and I have a weekly thing where we meet up and we play Magic the Gathering. We create commander decks, which is a popular format I've learned and has been popular for a while. I actually stopped playing way back when, just because it's like, you know, an expensive hobby and stuff. But we can create proxy decks and stuff, and we can play that way and not have to worry about anything. So I'm super excited to get into that. And I do have a deck that I am working on that's pretty much complete. I want to start a new one today. And so that's kind of what we're doing right now with this one. We're creating an all new one. So that is the plan. This is kind of my first just chatting stream. I've never done one before. So it's probably going to be a bit, it's probably going to be a little iffy, you know? But we'll see what we can do. But yeah, today we're gonna create a new commander deck to possibly use in the future for Magic get-togethers and whatnot. So, but that is the plan. So let me go ahead and swap over. Excuse me. Okay, and so I need to add a browser source here. Just name it MTG. Let's do this. 20 and 80. Okay. Okay. I think I'm trying. Hold on. If I do this instead. Okay. That is somewhat better, although I do want to do that. I guess it's gonna be weird. We're gonna have it kind of be a little messed up, where it's like not fully in frame. So I guess it's gonna look a little funny like that. So that is my bad. um, but yeah, we are going to do this. Oh, let me. Sorry, where is? Oh, here we go. Let me put this up to like there. Let me bring it down a smidge. Like that. Okay, so the deck that I'm working on right now is I have affectionately called it Copy That. And if you can't tell, the whole purpose of this deck is to copy this card and then just run people over. Which is kind of bad, but as far as commanders are concerned, once they leave the battlefield, you can bring them back for 2 extra cost in increasing value each time they exit combat, right? So it isn't too bad. We're going with Kiora, the Rising Tide. Blue creature, legendary, merfolk, noble. The way commander works is that any legendary creature can be a commander. It costs 2 colorless and an island. It's a 3/2. When Kiora enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. That doesn't really matter. But the ability that we're looking for is the one under it that is the one that we really want. Threshold. Whenever Kiora attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you may create Scion of the Deep, a legendary 8/8 blue octopus creature token. So, the idea is to create multiple copies of Kiora so that when they attack, they can create multiple copies of Scion of the Deep, and then you just run your opponents over, right? So that's like the idea. Now, what I don't know, I believe, because it doesn't state that it's this card, but I'm pretty sure the card works in one of 2 ways, right? This means whenever Kiora attacks, it means this copy of Kiora, which means it can only create like this version of Kiora can only create 1 Scion of the Deep per attack. Or because it's not specific, whenever Kiora attacks, if there are multiple copies of Kiora, whenever Kiora attacks for each copy of Kiora, it creates a Scion of the Deep. Now that would be ideal, but even if it works more like the first one and not the second one, I think will be cool. The second way that it works just makes it insane, right? So, but that is sort of like the ideal that we're looking for right now. So let's get some islands in there, of course. And we can actually choose the island type or the island, what's it called? The art. There we go. Because we're doing like proxies, so, we can like print these cards, quote unquote. ones I want. I like the Edge of Eternity's cards. Those look cool. Avatar ones look pretty cool. And Final Fantasy. Ooh, that's nice. It's like a foil. I believe this is specifically the this is the island where you get Knights of the Round. If this were a Final Fantasy themed deck, I might do that. I might have picked that one. This is really sick though. I'll probably stick with this one. And just to be sure, let's put 10 in there at first. And then we can adjust it as we go. I believe the way that we're playing it, as far as commander decks go, is a maximum of 100. It's both the minimum and the maximum. So like 100 card deck. So I have Moxfield up to build the deck, and I also have Scryfall up so that I can check to see other things that I might want to add to the deck. I don't think I'm gonna make this a mono blue, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, so Naga Flesh Crafter, 3 colorless, an island. It's a 0/0. It's a snake shapeshifter. You may have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. Renew, 2 colorless, 1 island. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put a 1/1 counter on target non-legendary creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until the end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So this one would be Naga would be able to copy Kiora, and then if we do the renew, we could make it copy the Scion of the Deep, because Scion of the Deep doesn't specify that it's a legendary. Oh no, it does say that's a legendary. No shit, maybe not. Well, okay, it says put a 1/1 counter on target non-legendary creature you control. We might not even have to do this for the renew ability. If anything, it would just be good to copy Kiora, so I'll put that in there just in case. Was it Naga Flesh Crafter? Okay. Seems good. Okay. I was thinking about, I was looking at this one, Sakashima the Imposter. The problem with this is that even though it would copy Kiora, because it retains the name of Sakashima, I don't believe the ability for this works, because it specifically needs the card to be Kiora when it attacks. Except his name is still Sakashima, so it copies the fact that it's a 3/2. Well, it does copy the ability. So whenever Kiora attacks, even if this isn't Kiora, it could still create the 8/8 if it works like the second version of it. I'll put Sakashima in there for now, and I can remove it when I get more clarity later. Sakashima, the imposter. Okay. Let's see. Spark Double. It's an illusion. It's creature type 0/0. 3 colorless, 1 island. You may have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature, it enters with an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker, and it isn't legendary. Okay, so the copy isn't legendary, I think, is what it's saying. Spark Double, enter copy of a creature or planeswalker, except it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on if it's a creature. It enters with an additional loyalty counter if it's a planeswalker, and it isn't legendary. Okay, so it becomes a copy, but the copy itself isn't legendary, I guess. So Spark Double. Like I said, I can always change this out later. Oh, okay. I was just seeing this Autumn Soldier. 4 colorless, 2 islands, artifact creature, alien soldier, 0/0. You may have Autumn Soldier enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it isn't legendary, is an artifact in addition to other types, and has Myriad. Whenever it attacks for each opponent other than defending player, you may put a token that's a copy of the creature onto the battlefield tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker they control. Exile tokens at the end of combat. Hey man, what's up? Oh, nice. Yeah, I figured today would be fun. We would take it easy, create a possible deck to use in the future. Yeah. Oh, it's because I can't spell. Soldier. Okay. Yeah, so you might know how this works because you know better than I do. Oh, nice 5, by the way. So this deck is called Copy That, and it revolves around Cure Rising Tide. So the idea is that we're going to copy her and create a whole bunch of fucked up octopuses and like overrun people. So I'm not sure how this text works. You might know because you're more nuanced with this stuff. So what I don't understand is the context for the threshold ability. Whenever Cure attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you may create Scion of the Deep, a legendary 8/8 blue octopus creature token. If I have multiple copies of Cure in, does it only work as in when one thing of Cure attacks, it only creates one Scion of the Deep? Or if you have multiple copies of Cure because each one is named Cure, when each Cure attacks for each Cure, it creates a Scion of the Deep? Either's fine. Obviously one is like more like fucked up, right? But I just need like more context on that. I was actually going to ask you later later on when we meet up and stuff, so but that is Okay, so like specifically when it says Kiora, it means that instance of Kiora, not every copy of Kiora. Right? That's what I'm getting. Each one has its own trigger, only looking for itself. Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's perfectly fine. This deck still works. It's just that if it was the second way, then that was going to be like super insane, right? But this is perfect. So this may have a problem. What do you mean? Oops. Right. And you can only have like one copy of a legendary at a time. Is that right? Is that what I'm looking at? I might have to rethink like this if that's the case. Ah, okay. Gotcha. That's what I was thinking. I was like, like that seems like really good. Right. So that's kind of what I was looking at. I was like, so if it works in the way that I think that it does, then what I would need to do is I would need to find things that copy Kiora but makes the copy not legendary. Which means I can just get rid of this guy and I can get rid of this guy. Because Auton makes a not legendary and Spark Double creates a permanent that that isn't legendary as well. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Will do. Another version of Sakashima. Interesting. I'll consider that. I'll try to create one that's like not legendary first, and then well, I mean, I imagine you can't create too many of these because if you do, then that just kind of makes things fucked up, right? So if the goal is to make a lot of octopus, you probably need those. I'm probably going to end up doing that. I'm just trying to see what else. I mean, that's probably going to be a thing, yeah. works. Ember Island production. Create a copy that's not legendary. Yeah. I was looking at the fact that she seems specifically targeted to blue, so I was like, I don't know what other colors I could put in that would like help bolster blue. I would assume I know red and black tend to go well with blue, so I don't know. But yeah. Need a different commander to add non-blue cards. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't too familiar on how commanders worked completely. So if if a commander is a specific color, you can only put in cards that are of the same color, right? So that's probably why a lot of people go for a multicolored commander so that they can have multiple colors in their deck. That makes a lot of sense. Oops, I am in the wrong one. Same color? Okay. Well, this should be interesting then. Color piles. Yeah, in that case, I'll probably have to use... I'll have to put these in here. Four colors usually allows them to play all the best cards. I don't know. There might be. Hold on. Let's create a new tab. wow. Octomancer. Let's see. Spell costs 8 less to cast if you have 8 or more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard. Ward 8. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, target creature has base power and toughness 8/8 until the end of turn. Maybe. Okay, I will keep her in mind. I do like Ward 8. That's really cool. It's a pretty fucked up thing to do to a person. Right. I mean, in this case, I would almost want to switch my theme from copying with Octavia to be more of like a spell slinger deck, which actually isn't bad. I was thinking of doing spell slinging for like another deck, so there are a couple copy spells. There's a decent amount of copy spells, I think. It is mono blue, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really seems like the way to go is not monocolor. That's a good one for it. Imposter syndrome. Whenever a non-token creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. Oops. Proliferate. Yeah, I was looking into proliferate with some stuff. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, for this to work, I definitely have to do the whole legend rule thing. Can make infinite, right? Ooh, that's interesting art. I don't know if I like that one versus the normal art. I have a favorite legend rule commander, but it is red-black. The master. Oh. Wait. Oh, here we go. Multiplied 4/3 Time Lord Rogue. Myriad, the legend rule doesn't apply to creature tokens you control. Triggered abilities you control can't cause you to sacrifice or exile creature tokens you control. Oh, nice. It's actually pretty strong. Oh, wow. I might want to create a deck around the Emperor. Okay. Specifically one card name? Just any card, you mean? Did I do that wrong? Oh. Like that. Like that. The number? Okay, so it gives you like all of the iterations of the card. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Because it lays it out in a grid. Gotcha. That's cool. Some are real, others are fan made. That makes sense. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, I know there's been like Magic has been going on for a long time, but I think it said for this one there's like 1,211. Right. Well, usually there's like 3 or 4 versions of a land per set, right? And then there's like the foil version and whatnot. Yeah. Oh, that's cute. It's got like the tap thing on top. So basically, you make like a deck here, and then like you port the deck here, and then like this is how like you print the deck. Like use this file to print like the stuff. Ah, okay, makes sense. Cool. I'll have to keep that in mind. It's really nice. I like how there's so many tools for just like creating fun stuff like this, you know? Oh, nice. In text form. Oh, cool. What the hell? Next to buy the more option. Oh, got it. Gotcha. I don't know, seems cool. Expert it is for G-Arena. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did wonder about the process, although I imagine it wasn't. It's nice that it's not super complex. Since this is mono, let's bump this up to like 25. There we go. And we'll add some other non-land things. Deck to NPC fill to XML file. Got it. That's pretty cool. Okay, so there's a bunch of steps in between, but essentially it's just taking it from one format and putting it into a format that like something can read to like make the thing. That's not too bad. I mean, that sounds annoying, but since the majority of that is done online, I imagine the most annoying thing is printing the cards, make sure the cards don't come out fucked up, and then like cutting them. Yeah. The actual physical part. Right. Right. So that's like the most time consuming part of the whole deal. That is a lot. I mean, I imagine it's worth the price though, considering like the alternative, which is easier, but most people can't really do, is actually pay for like the cards. So, right. Right. I mean, I would help too. Like, you know, if I were to give Nate a deck, I would want to I would help like cut my own deck and stuff, and not like you know, because the process is so time consuming. It just feels kind of bad if one person does everything, you know. Yeah, it is listed on the bottom. Yeah. So far my deck is like $104.76. I think my most expensive one that I've seen made that I'll probably have to make revisions to is probably around like 400 or 500, something like that. Ah. Hey, what's up, Lonnie? Welcome. The deck I made you was $816. I can imagine. Welcome to Chill Stream today. We are creating a new commander deck for Magic. Just had some lunch. Hope it was good lunch. Yeah, sometimes when I search cards, it won't show up. And sometimes I have to specify that I'm looking for a card that's not legal. For whatever reason it lists. So yeah. Because I know like some cards in the deck that you made me aren't like legal and stuff, so. Chicken fried steak. Ooh. Scryfall. Okay, so duplication, sorcery, 3 colorless, and an island. Create a token that's a copy of target creature in control, except the token has flying and isn't legendary. If that creature is legendary. That sounds good. I had some rice and some chicken fries for lunch because it's so good. I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner. 3 duplication commanders in the works. Each is a different level of deck. Oh. All right, because it goes up to what, level 5? The power levels. So max levels competitive. Huh, neat. Add Darksteel Colossus. Oh man. It's probably too much there. Beef and veggies in the slow cooker for tonight. Nice. 1 is hyper casual. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like super into making. Well, I don't know. The decks I tend to make, I'm not really even worried about the power level. I just try to create things that seem fun. Amarthus, Darksteel. Oh, neat. card. A childhood goblin grenade. The colorless one you saw where Dustin double board wiped me to stop it when he killed me with squirrels. I don't know. Everyone had an era. You know, it's like I was telling my friends last time we got together, which was last week, literally a week ago. I started during Urza Saga, and then I don't remember when I stopped. But that was some crazy shit. It was a fun time to get into Magic. Played MTG in elementary. I played I got into Magic in middle school, and then like I played, not seriously, but I had like a group of friends at school, and we played a decent amount through like middle and high school, and then pretty much stopped until I got back to college, and then like stopped again. And I'm picking it back up now because, you know, we have the technology. It was so much fun though. Got into Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh is so like ridiculous. Like the power creep in Yu-Gi-Oh is like so ridiculous that I'm just like, I want to get into it, but at the same time, I'm like, nah. I'm okay with like not starting turn one and like just getting fucking destroyed. Oh yeah, well any TCG, CCG is expensive, but yeah, I think Yu-Gi-Oh has just gotten like it's gotten so out of control. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. Mirror Hall Mimic. 3 colorless, 1 island. Spirit 0/0. You may have this enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's a spirit in addition to its other types. Disturb. 3 colorless, 2 islands. You may cast this card from your graveyard, transform for its disturbed cost. Ghastly Mimicry, it's an aura. Enchant creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted creature, except it's a spirit. If Ghastly Mimicry would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, exiled instead. Oh, that sounds cool. Oops. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Weird to say this, but MTG has formats like that. Most of them aren't. On average, Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh have way harder decks for immediate degenerate wins. Yeah, I don't know why it like timed that one out. That's weird. I don't know. I mean, like my love for Yu-Gi-Oh came from like the anime, like the first season. So like once it like moved into like GX away from like the main series, I was just like, I'm okay. Like like I loved like the cards and like the way that like, you know, duels were like ridiculous and stuff from there. But like, yeah, after that I was like, I'm good. I don't need to learn this. The $8,000 decks have 1-card starters that open full boards. Oh boy. Play on your turn. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, OTK potential. No shit. It's fun with friends, but getting hustled for 30 minutes at a tournament where you're just sitting there and and watching someone else play just to beat you is, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like that Pro ZD like short that he did, right? Where like he had like one turn that lasted like the entire video, and like the entire video was like a couple of minutes, and it was just him creating like cows that did more shit, that created more cows that did more shit. And it like would always pan back over to like the other guy who's just like getting bored and like falling asleep because like the turn just never fucking ends. Yeah. I mean, I understand like the like how you can feel like really powerful like in the moment. Right, exactly. It's fun for the person doing it because you know they're like this overwhelming like force of nature, but it's just like kind of like, oh, okay, well, like you're just kind of a dick. The best words, exactly. Mirror image. 2 colorless, 1 blue. Shapeshifter 0/0. You may have mirror image enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature you control. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I mean, like I don't really mind if something is overwhelming, but like at a certain point it just kind of gets like oh man, like we really have to sit through all of this crap. You know, especially in the case where like you can't like respond, like and it's at like the beginning of the game, right? Where it's just like, oh yeah, it's like my turn, and like here's like a turn that lasts like 25 minutes. You can't respond and you die. And it's like, wow. So much fun. Like on one hand, I get it, right? It's like if you're in a tournament, you're playing to win. So I get it, but like I think tournaments are more fun when like there's like actual competition and not like I'm gonna like suck myself off for like 20 minutes and then just, you know, it's just kind of like but that's just me, you know. Maybe I'm like maybe I'm the weird one. We try not to do that when we build decks, but it's hard. You're complete, want to make, think it'll suck for others. It's also about the contest. Yeah, but I mean, it's like, okay, for one thing, like if you're like among friends, I think it's like okay to like do that every once in a while, right? Because like with friends, like you're just kind of shooting the shit. But yeah, I guess it just depends on like which circles you hang out in, you know. Oh, okay. Mirror Mockery. Aura. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Enchant creature. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks, you may put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. Exile that token at the end of combat. Okay. Mirror. Do I already have that? Mirage Mockery, which is slightly different than Mirror Mockery. That's cool art. Do I like the somewhat borderless art versus the border one. I'll leave that as that for now. Takes too many game actions per turn for people who enjoy feeling your wizard dick slap them across the board. Yeah, see, how did Doc get processed out, but dick is fine? I would assume previously someone said dick and then I allowed it. I'll warn you that cards like that draw removal. Well, of course they do. I mean, it's like once you know what's up, if, like subsequently or during the game, if people see you doing weird fucking jank shit, then obviously they'll do that. I attempt to put pants on a dude. I kill the dude in response. Right. Hey man, you can't let people have pants. Pants is bad. Pants is not good. Oh my god, that is amazing. I'm putting that in there. Mobile clone. 2 colorless, 2 islands, sorcery. Using a mobile device, take a picture of target creature. That device enters the battlefield as a token that's a photocopy of the pictured creature. Photocopies include auras, equipment, counters, and stickers in the shot. Don't touch other people's phones without permission. Be careful if you do. That's so funny. No, I know. That's hilarious, though. I love that. What are pants? Pants is anything that you can equip onto a creature. So, like, equipment, enchants, auras, like anything like that. Pants is just the general term that people use in Magic for that. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason the community was like, pants. That's what we're gonna do. So like, yeah, everything equipable onto a creature in Magic are pants. It's pretty funny. Ooh. I know gene conversion. 3 colorless, 1 blue, sorcery. Choose a target creature you control. Each other creature becomes a copy of that creature until the end of turn, except it isn't legendary. Nice. Pants and hats are the dumb Magic slangs. Yeah. I definitely prefer pants. Like, I remember when Raynad first referred to stuff as pants, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck are pants? And then I found out what pants were, and I was like, ah. Myojin of Cryptic Dreams. 5 colorless, 3 islands. Legendary creature spirit, 3/3. This enters the battlefield with an indestructible counter on it. If you cast it from your hand, remove an indestructible counter from this. Copy target permanent spell you control 3 times. The copies become tokens. Neat. No, I know. I figured you were making a joke. I figured it would be funny to answer with a legit answer. dragons become commander, it makes more dragons come out. Dragons making dragons. Yeah, that is a very Dustin thing. Myojin. Dude, is there like a magic card that's like the equivalent of the fucking, what's it's called? You know that like Russian like egg that has like smaller eggs? I forgot what the fuck it's called. Yeah, the dolls. You know, like it's like an egg. There you go. That thing. When you open the egg, there's like a smaller egg, and then like when you open that egg, there's like an even smaller egg, and then there's usually like up to 3 or 5 eggs, like total. Oh, there's that Octavia card. I always thought that would be like funny to create like a stupid like deck like that where it's like, yes, you killed like the 5/5, but now it's a 3/3, and then you kill the 3/3 and it's like, aha, but now it's a 1/1, and it's just like annoying, you know? The fact that you have to kill something like multiple times just for it to die. Yeah. I always thought that would be like a really fun thing to make. Just because it's dumb. Omni Changeling, 3 colorless, 2 blue, Shapeshifter. Every creature type, Convoke. Creatures can help cast the spell when you tap. You may have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it has Changeling. Okay. Sounds good to me. If I can spell. Think you would enjoy Slime Against Humanity? Create a 0/0 green ooze creature token with trample. Put X/1/1 counters on it, where X is 2 plus the total number of cards you own in exile and in your graveyard that are oozes or are named Slime Against the Humanity. A deck can have any number of cards named Slime Against Humanity. That's funny. I do like slimes. I know they're like cannon fodder in like every MMORPG and shit, but I like slimes. Like slimes have the potential to be like really, really, really strong. Oh, oops. Copy. sounds good. Orval, the all form, 3 colorless, 1 blue, shapeshifter, 3/3, changeling. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets one or more other permanents you control, create a token that's a copy of one of those permanents. A spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card. Create a token that's a copy of target permanent. Yeah, that sounds good. Oh wow, Jesus. That art. I don't know, I like that art. I'm gonna keep that for now. Mimoplasm. Okay. The second one. The Mimoplasm. Okay. 2 colorless, 1 swamp, 1 forest, 1 island. 0/0 legendary creature ooze. As the Mimoplasm enters the battlefield, you may exile 2 creature cards from graveyards. If you do, it enters the battlefield as a copy of one of those cards with a number of additional +1/+1 counters on it equal to the power of the other card. Oh, nice. Does clone things. That seems cool. You know, it's kind of funny whenever I found that I have a specific archetype of deck that I really enjoy, and I don't aim to make it on purpose all the time. But whenever I create a deck, somehow it always gets around to, here's the thing that creates more things, and use stuff to create more of those things, and then you just overrun your opponent, you know? Good luck, have fun, back to work. All right, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope the rest of your workday goes well. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very much a create stuff to create more stuff and then, like, destroy you. What is that? Like a... Oops. It's a Timmy Blair. Yeah. Forbidden Elf Ball Commander. Ooh. Phantasmal Image. 1 colorless, 1 island. It's an illusion. You may have this enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's an illusion in addition to its other types, and has, when this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. Okay. Phantasmal. What was it? Illusion? Image. Nice. Ooh. Polymorphous Rush. Instant. 2 colorless, 1 island. Strive. Polymorphous Rush costs 1 colorless and 1 island more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose a creature on the battlefield. Any number of target creatures you control each become a copy of that creature until the end of turn. That's cool. Polymorphous Rush. I like that. Oops. There we go. Voja Claws of Conclave. Voja. Vigilance Trample Ward 3. Whenever this attacks, put X11 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of elves you control. Draw a card for each wolf you control. Oh, nice. This could work with one of the decks that I'm currently making. I'll have to remember this one. Quantum Misalignment. 4 colorless, 1 island. Sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it isn't legendary. Rebound. If you cast this spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. Oh, nice. Okay. Quantum Misalignment. Yeah, that seems really cool. Quasi-duplicate. Create... Excuse me. 1 colorless, 2 island, sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of a target creature you control. Jumpstart. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. Then exile this card. Alright. Yeah, seems really good. kind of anything really. I'm just like kind of going along because I just did like a general search for a copy. So ooh, replication technique. Oh, okay. Oh, it looks like It looks like automod like killed the what's it's called? The web address. It uses Word, hard to explain tech. Okay. Discord, got it. Realm sketching. 2 colorless, 2 islands, sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact, creature, or land. Okay. Hard to explain, but it needs creature clones explicitly. Oh, holy shit. Rite of replication. 2 colorless, 2 islands, sorcery, kicker 5. Create a token that's a copy of target creature. If the spell is kicked, create 5 of those tokens instead. Yeah, okay. Is that still legal? Yup. Damn. Realm sketch is really cool. Right. Ooh. Sakshima's Will. 3 colorless, 1 island, sorcery. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast this spell, you may choose both. Target opponent chooses a creature they control. You gain control of it. Choose a creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until the end of turn. Yeah, that's cool. Dope card though. All right, man. Appreciate the lurk. Yeah, this is gonna be a shorter stream, so it'll probably be done in like an hour or so. But I'll like text you guys to see like when you guys might want to meet up today or whatnot. Dustin said that he will be there at like around the same time as last time, but I didn't know if you guys were going to come by earlier or whatnot. So if you do, just let me know. Okay, so a little after 5. Okay. Oh, the same place as last time? The Chiba hut? Alright, yeah, I mean, if you guys are thinking about stopping somewhere, just let me know. I'll meet you there. Cool. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. C double. 2 colorless, 2 islands, instant. The spell can't be copied. Choose one. If an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, you may choose both. Okay. Copy target spell. You may choose a new target for the copy. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. Okay. Create a token that's a copy of target creature. Sounds good. C double. Self-reflection. 4 colorless, 2 islands, sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. Flashback. 3 colorless, 1 island. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. Works for me. Self-reflection. Ooh. Shameless Charlatan. 1 colorless, 1 island. Legendary enchantment. It's a background. Commander creatures you own have 2 colorless, 1 island. This creature becomes a copy of another target creature. It's specifically commander creatures, though. Shapesharer, 1 colorless, 1 island. It's a 1/1 shapeshifter changeling. For 2 colorless and 1 island, target shapeshifter becomes a copy of target creature until your next turn. Oh, nice. So it works for any shapeshifter, including itself. All right. Why not? Silent Hull Creeper. Enchantment creature. It's a horror, a 1/1. Silent Hull Creeper can't be blocked. Whenever Silent Hull Creeper deals damage to a player, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Put 2 1/1 counters on Silent Hull Creeper, draw a card, or Silent Hull Creeper becomes a copy of another target creature you control. Sounds good. Slick Imitator. Oh, look, it's an ooze. 1/3. It's a colorless and a island. Start your engines. If you have no speed, it starts at 1. It increases once on each of your turns when an opponent loses life. Max speed is 4. Max speed. Well, at max speed, pay 1 colorless. Sacrifice this creature. Copy target spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. Alright. Slick Imitator. Interesting. Maybe. Ooh. Okay. Stolen Identity. 4 colorless, 2 islands. It's a sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature, Cipher. Then you may exile the spell card encoded on a creature you control. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player, its controller may cast a copy of the encoded card without paying its mana cost. I like it. And that's where you put in the identity, the Dwight identity theft isn't a joke, Jim meme. Millions of people suffer it from every year. suffer from it every year. Ooh, this has flash too. Stunt double. 3 colorless, 1 island, shapeshifter, flash. You may have stunt double enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. Okay. Sounds good to me. Sublime Epiphany. Instant. 4 colorless, 2 islands. Choose 1 or more. Counter target spell. Counter target activate or triggered ability. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. Target player draws a card. Wow. I mean, it's expensive, but it said 1 or more, so I assume you can choose all of them if you want. Supplant form. Same cost as Sublime. 4 colorless, 2 islands, instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. You put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. Owner's hand, you may put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. But does that act as though you were playing it from your hand? Or does it play out as in it's already on the battlefield as itself before any of its abilities resolve, or after the abilities resolve? I don't know. I'll hold off on that for now, but I'll try to remember. Swarm Intelligence, enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. 6 colorless, 1 island. It's pretty expensive, but it could be good. Swarm Intelligence. Synth Infiltrator, 3 colorless, 2 islands. Synth 0/0. Improvise. Your artifacts can help cast this spell. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1 colorless. You may have Synth Infiltrator enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except its synth artifact creature in addition to its other archetypes. How many artifacts do I have? I think I only have like 1. Pretty sure it's just 1. Oh no, I have a couple. So generally speaking, I would probably only have 2 artifacts out max, which means at best this would cost 3 instead of 5. That could be good. All right, why not? Synth Infiltrator. Oh, that's interesting. Tempt with Reflections. 3 colorless, 1 island sorcery. Tempting offer. Choose target creature you control. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. Each opponent may put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. For each opponent who does, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of that creature. Yeah, that sounds like fun, actually. Tempt with Reflections. The Clone Saga. 3 colorless, 1 island. Surveil 3 at 1. Lore counter at 2. When you next cast a creature spell this turn, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. And at 3, choose a card name. Whenever a creature with a chosen name deals combat damage to a player this turn, draw a card. Maybe. The Enigma Jewel. It's 1 island. Legendary artifact. The Enigma Jewel enters the battlefield tapped. When you tap it, add 2 colorless. Spend the mana only to activate abilities. Craft with 4 or more non-lands with activated abilities. 8 colorless, 1 island. Exile this artifact. Exile the 4 or more from among other permanents you control and or cards in your graveyard. Return this card transformed under its owner's control. Craft only as a sorcery. Becomes Locus of Enlightenment. Locus of Enlightenment has each activated ability of the exiled cards used to craft it. You may activate each of those abilities only once each turn. Whenever you activate an ability that isn't a mana ability, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Interesting. I'm not sure how I would make that work with my deck, but I will keep this card in mind. The Ever-Flowing Well. It's a legendary artifact, 2 colorless, 1 island. When the Ever-Flowing Well enters the battlefield, mill 2 cards, then draw 2 cards. Descend 8. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, transform the Ever-Flowing Well, and it becomes the Myriad Pools. Legendary artifact land. Tap, add an island or a blue mana. Whenever you cast a permanent spell using mana produced by the Myriad Pools, up to 1 other target permanent you control becomes a copy of that spell until the end of turn. Oh, nice. Okay. The Mirari Conjecture. It's a saga. 1 counter, return target instant card from your graveyard to your hand. At 2, return target sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And at 3, until the end of turn, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. And it's a 4 colorless, 1 island. Yeah, I mean, that could be good. I'll give it some thought, but I actually have to use the restroom, so I'll be right back. All right, we are back. Yeah, that seems good. Oh, that might be one we can't add in there. Oh, it would help if I could spell. Nice. Okay. Thousand-Faced Shadow. It's 1 island. It's a 1/1. It's Human Ninja. Ninjutsu. 2 colorless, 2 islands. Return an unblocked attacker you control to your hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand tapped and attacking. It is flying. 1000 face shadow enters the battlefield from your hand. If it's attacking, create a token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. The token enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. Ooh, I like that. 1000 faced shadow. Very cool. 3 steps ahead. Thank you, Sorrybot, for catching that. 1 cost, or 1 island, and there's like a little plus symbol up there. Instant, it's spree. Choose 1 or more additional costs. So if I wanted to do these, I would need to pay extra. So if I paid an extra 1 colorless and 1 island, I could counter target spell. If I paid an additional 3 colorless, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control. And if I pay an extra 2 colorless, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. I could technically do all of this for 1, 2, 4, 8. All right, like that. 3 steps ahead. Hydration's important, folks. Thunderclap Drake. It's 2/1. Obviously Drake. 1 colorless, 1 island. Flying instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. You can pay 2 colorless and 1 island to sacrifice this creature. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it for each time you cast your commander from the command zone this game. You may choose new targets for the copies. Sounds kinda nice, actually. It assumes that my commander is going to come out more than once, though. I'll put it in there for now. I could always... I could always change it after Thunder... Clap Drake. I can sideboard it. Sideboard that for now. Trickster's Talisman. It's a 1 island artifact equipment. Invoke Duplicity. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice Trickster's Talisman. If you do, create a token that's a copy of this creature. Equip is 2 colorless. I like it. Trickster's Trick. I can spell, I think. I hope. Okay. True Polymorph, instant, 4 colorless, 2 islands. Target artifact or creature becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature. Yeah. And I did see this one, twin cast, 2 islands, instant, copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Yeah. is a pretty obvious no-brainer. Oh, I was thinking of putting Canine in there before. It's one island. It's a 1/1 legendary artifact creature, robot dog. Negative. As long as Canine Mark 1 is untapped, other legendary creatures you control have Ward 1. Affirmative. One colorless, one island. Tap. Target legendary creature can't be blocked this turn. Doctor's Companion. You can have 2 commanders if the other is the Doctor. Canine Mark is actually just good by itself, so Mark 1. Alright. Undercover Operative, 2 colorless, 2 islands, Shapeshifter Rogue. You may have this enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it enters with a shield counter on it if you control that creature. If it would be dealt damage or destroyed, remove a shield counter from it instead. Yeah, that sounds nice. Over Operative. Oh, so far this deck, 71 cards plus 1 sideboard, $204.20. It's not too bad. That's interesting. Draw a card from an opponent's library. Vesuvan Doppelganger. 3 colorless, 2 islands. Summon Doppelganger. Upon summoning, Doppelganger acquires all characteristics except color of any one creature in play on either side. Any creature enchantments on the original creature are not copied. During controller's upkeep, Doppelganger may take on the characteristics of a different creature in play instead. Doppelganger may continue to copy a creature even when that creature leaves play, but if it switches, it won't be able to switch back. Is that a legal card? It is a legal card. Wow. Man, it is really hard to read that text. All right, that's better, I guess. Suvan Diplomacy. 3 colorless, 1 island enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single artifact or creature you control, create a token that's a copy of that artifact or creature, except it's not legendary. Sounds good. Diplomacy. Virtue of Knowledge. 4 colorless, 1 island enchantment. So there's an instant ability, Vantress Visions, cost 1 colorless and 1 island, and the instant is adventure type. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. That's a maybe. Visage Bandit, 3 colorless, 1 island. Shapeshifter Rogue, it's a 2/2. You may have Visage Bandit enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature you control, except it's a Shapeshifter Rogue in addition to its other types. Plot. 2 colorless, 1 island. You may pay 2 colorless and 1 island and exile this card from your hand. Cast it as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. Plot only as a sorcery. Maybe. Will of the Timur. 5 colorless, 1 island. It's a sorcery. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both instead. Create a token that's a copy of a target permanent, except it's a 4/4 dragon creature with flying in addition to its other types. Target player draws cards equal to the greatest mana value among permanents you control. Which, since it's a target player, you can also target yourself. maybe. Hmm. Oh, wow. Wizard Spellbook. 5 colorless, 2 islands, artifact. Tap, exile target instant or sorcery card from the graveyard, roll a d20, activate only as a sorcery. If you roll 1 to 9, copy that card, you may cast the copy. If you roll 10 to 19, copy that card, you may cast the copy by paying 1 rather than paying its mana cost. Or if you roll a 20, copy each card exiled with Wizard Spellbook. You may cast any number of the copies without paying their mana cost. That's insane. Yeah. That has potential. Hmm. I only have 18 creatures. Definitely need to put more in there. That seems like not enough. It seems like a decent amount of the creatures though tend to hover around the 4 mana cost from what I'm seeing. Yeah, okay. That guy. Huh. Vizier of Many Faces. 2 colorless and 2 islands. It's Shapeshifter Cleric. You may have this enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature in the battlefield, except if this was embalmed. The token has no mana cost, it's white, and it's a zombie in addition to its other types. The embalmed cost is 3 colorless and 2 islands. Huh. It's interesting. Adaptive Training Post, 2 colorless, 1 island. It's an artifact. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this artifact has fewer than 3 charge counters on it. Put a charge counter on it. Removing 3 charge counters from this artifact. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it, and you may choose new targets for the copy. Alright. Adaptive Training Post. Aurora Shifter. So 1 colorless, 1 island, so 1/3. Whenever Shifter deals combat damage to a player, you get that many tokens. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 2 of those tokens. When you do, Shifter becomes a copy of another target creature you control, except it has this ability. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you get that many tokens. Interesting. Yeah, sure, why not? You need more low cost stuff in the deck. Let's see. Blade of Shared Souls, 2 colorless, 1 island, artifact equipment for Mirrodin. When this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 red rebel creature token, then attach this to it. Whenever Blade of Shared Souls becomes attached to a creature, for as long as Blade of Shared Souls remains attached to it, you may have that creature become a copy of another target creature you control. Equip cost is 2 colorless. Alright, that doesn't sound bad. Shared Souls. cackling counterpart, excuse me. Instant, 1 colorless, 2 islands. Create a token that's a copy of a target creature you control. Flashback cost 5 colorless, 2 islands. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. Maybe. Complete the circuit. 5 colorless, 1 island. It's an instant. Convoke. Your creatures can upcast the spell. For each creature you tap while casting the spell, pays for 1 colorless or 1 mana of that creature's color. You may cast sorcery spells this turn as though they had flash. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. Ooh, I like that. Complete the circuit. Okay. Complete the circuit. Actually, what time is it? Give it a little more time, and then we'll call it maybe another half an hour or so. Okay. Deceptive Frostkite. It is 2 islands. It's a dragon. It's a 1/1 with flying. You may have this creature enter as a copy of a creature you control with a power 4 or greater, except it's a dragon in addition to its other types and has flying. I mean, that sounds good to me, right? Mika Fractal Theorist, 4 colorless, 1 island. It's legendary. It's a human wizard, 3/3, magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X/1/1 counters on it, where X is the spell's mana value. And if you pay 3 colorless and an island, target creature token can't be blocked this turn. Yeah, I mean, that can be pretty good. All right. Oh, what the hell? Oh, D. I'll move this from the sideboard into the actual main one. Lowering the cost of spells. Ooh. Arcane Melee. 4 colorless, 1 island. Enchantment, instant, and sorcery spells cost 2 less to cast. Love it. Oh, wow. Caliphate, Beloved of the Sea. Say 1 colorless, 2 islands. Legendary enchantment creature. It's a demigod. Caliphy's power is equal to your devotion to blue. Each island in the mana cost of permanents you control counts towards your devotion. Creatures and enchantments you control have spells your opponents cast that target this permanent cost 1 more to cast. That's pretty cool. Interesting. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, that is fine. Let's see. Oh, wow. Font of Magic. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each time you cast a commander from the command zone this game. Font of Magic. Okay. Forager's Foundry. It's an artifact. Skoo, colorless 1 island. Tap, add a blue mana. When you spend this mana to cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 3 or less, you may exile that spell instead of putting it into the owner's graveyard as it resolves. If you pay 3 colorless and 2 islands, you tap. You may cast any number of spells from among cards exiled with Forager's Foundry without paying their mana cost. Activate only as a sorcery. That doesn't sound terrible, actually. Forager's Foundry. Okay. Right. Yeah. I was wondering if I was looking, because right now I have 25 islands. I was probably going to bump that to 30 and then get some non-basic land in there, which is what I was kind of looking for. But I wasn't really sure what my card count was going to look like, so... Yeah. At least like a third of the deck needs to be land. As a general rule. About a third. Right. Jace's Sanctum. 3 colorless, 1 blue. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, scry 1. 2.6, 2.7, right? Average mana value of your main deck is 2.6 with lands and 3.9 without. The median mana value of your main deck is 3 with lands and 4 without. This deck's total mana value is 234. Okay. Ooh. Mind Splice Apparatus. 3 colorless, 1 island, artifact, flash. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on Mind Splice Apparatus. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each oil counter on Mind Splice Apparatus. I like it. Monastery Siege, enchantment, 2 colorless, 1 island. As Monastery Siege enters the battlefield, choose cons or dragons. If you choose cons, at the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card, then discard a card. If you choose dragons, spells your opponents cast that target you or a permanent that you control cost 2 more to cast. That sounds pretty good. Oh, wow. Talent of the Telepath. 2 colorless, 2 islands. Sorcery. Target opponent reveals the top 7 cards of his or her library. You can cast an instant or sorcery card from among them without paying its mana cost, and that player puts the rest into his or her graveyard. Spell Mastery. If there are 2 or more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, you may cast up to 2 revealed instant and or sorcery cards instead of 1. seems pretty good. The water crystal. 2 cost, or 2 colorless, 2 islands. Legendary artifact. Blue spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If an opponent would mill 1 or 2 more cards, they mill that many cards plus 4 instead. If you pay 4 colorless and 2 blue mana, you can tap, and then each opponent mills cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. Ooh, that's pretty devious. Not really doing a mill deck though, but I do like the blue spells costing 1 less to cast, so that's just kind of like an extra bonus on top of that. One with the multiverse. Oh, that's expensive. 6 colorless, 1 or 2 islands. Enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost. Wow. Wow. All right. That's like a kill onside card. Oops. Part water, huh? That's actually legal. Okay. um, okay. Well, I'm almost done with this one, but I am. Well, let me search for something real quick. um, lands are islands. No, but I'm looking for like a land. Oops. Let's see. No, that's not really what I'm looking for. Seize claim? No. No, I need a land that makes lands islands in addition to their types. I mean, I guess Quicksilver Fountain works. Phantasmal terrain? That is not what I want. All right. Well, I guess that works then. quick. Silver fountain. Wait, what the hell? Wait, how does this even work? Does it start as the shore or the mimic? Like, can you freely change it around? Yeah, I'm not sure how those work. Well, anyway. We kind of rounded it out for the most part. Still have some stuff and some fine tuning to do, but it doesn't look too bad. So, all right. Well, that is good for now. I'll continue to work on it off stream. It is just about 3:40. So yeah, let's head on back here. That was kind of fun. I think I'll do streams like this interchangeably, kind of when I feel like relaxing. Especially now I'm getting back into Magic. It sounds fun to be able to just kind of throw ideas out there and try to figure stuff out. But that's another deck almost done, which is nice. Well, yeah, it was really good today. It is Friday, so you made it to the weekend. I'll be heading out in probably like a couple of hours, so I don't think I'll be able to get a nap in, but at the very least, I'll be able to get in a nice shower and I'll be able to rest. So, yep. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Thank you all for joining me here today. So new schedule. I forgot to mention at the start, because I'm working more. I noticed that I'm not getting enough sleep. So I'm reducing streams back down to 2 days a week. It's going to be Tuesdays and Fridays. 3 days was just a bit too much right now. So it's going to take us longer to get through games. There's a game that I'm like super passionate about. We might add the third day back in. But we'll see how things go. Right now, I'm just kind of trying to take it easy, which is kind of why I'm like getting back into like Ragnarok. And we had like a stream today where it was just like, we're going to fuck around and create like a commander deck because it's like easy and I don't have to, I don't have to be like super on, and I can just chillax and converse and look at shit and see if things work, see if things don't. Real chill. I enjoyed it a lot. But yep, I'll be seeing some of y'all later, and we'll be back next week Tuesday for more. We're probably going to be doing a Ragnarok stream on Tuesday. We'll see how things go. Right now, basically, streams have been minimized to 2, but if I'm feeling up to it, I can always add a third stream during the week, maybe for something more like chill like this. So, but yeah, have a good rest of your day, y'all. Have a good rest of your weekend. Hopefully, I'll see you sometime next week. Appreciate y'all for stopping by, and take care. All right, see you later.